MMA Fighting here, speaking with Lauren Murphy at the UFC 247 Media Day here in Houston. Now, you are taking on Andrea Lee on Saturday, and I thought for sure this was a rematch in my head, because it seems like you guys have been fighting. You guys have been circling around each other. Your records are very similar. So is she a name that was ever like offered to you or tossed your way in the past, and it just happened to formulate now?
Yeah, actually a while back, Andrea's name did come up, and I wasn't making very much money, and I was like, that is a high-profile fight and worth a lot more than that. And so at the time, I was like, not for that paycheck, but it ended up working out really well. Now I did get a new contract, and then Andrea Lee was like one of the first names they offered, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
And I was looking, I was researching a little bit. I go through Twitter and I see what like fans are saying and like predictions, stuff like that. A lot of people are saying this is a grappler versus a striker type matchup, but you do have a lot of like TKO finishes, and Andrea Lee is a Muay Thai champion. Is it that cut and dry, like grappler versus striker, as fans are saying?
No, in the top 10, I don't think it's ever really like that. I think we're both really well-rounded. Like, if you're in the top 10 in the UFC, you're probably pretty dangerous everywhere. So, no, I don't really care, I guess, what people are saying, but I don't feel like it's that cut and dry for any high-level fight in the UFC.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you left the lab to come to Houston, correctly? So how was the transition since then?
It's been great. I did my last camp out here in Houston and just had the time of my life. I had a really great camp, and then obviously had a really great performance, and worked my way up the rankings a little bit, and I feel like I've earned this fight with Andrea now. She's a fan favorite. She's going to have a lot of eyes on her, and this is my chance to shine, you know? So I'm really proud to be in this position, and I'm super proud that I earned it.
But you're living here now. Did I see you bought a house here in Houston? So, well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, my husband and I, we bought a house. We closed on it last week. I'm jacked up. As soon as this fight's over, we're going to start renovating it. So follow on IG, because we love doing that kind of stuff. It's going to be really cool.
Now, I'll ask this for my cameraman, because this is the first time I've ever been to Houston. What part of Houston is your new house in?
We're down in South Houston in a area called Sugarland.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's out in the suburbs.
All right, cool. This is my first time ever here.
It's a really nice area. It's really beautiful. A lot of trees, like really green. It's a really gorgeous area, and it's near Henzo Gracie, where my husband's been teaching at. So I don't know. I'm just super jacked up. I can't wait. It's got a big yard. And
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
But speaking of Andrea, what did you make of her last performance against Joanne Calderwood?
I thought it was good. It was a really close fight. I mean, JoJo Calderwood must be looking at a title shot fairly soon. You know, like she's, I think, number 2 or 3 now in the rankings. And yeah, it was a really close competitive fight. Like I said, all the fights that are in the top 10 are going to be hard, tough fights that, you know, we're gonna have to take seriously. We're gonna have to work our butts off for. Like, there's no fooling around about it. She's a very tough fighter. She's gonna be a tough opponent for me. But I'm really looking forward to the challenge. Like, that's why I started doing this. I want the challenge. I want those tough fights, and I love that she is such an exciting fighter. I love that. Those are the funnest fights.
So what do you make of the rest of the state of this division right now? I mean, you have Valentina sitting right there. Roxanne just picked up a big win over people. They were calling her the future. I know you had a couple things to say about her that people like to point out when I was researching through you on Twitter. Liz Carmouche is no longer in the UFC. So it seems like a lot of movement in this division. What do you make of this top 15, top 10?
I love the 125 division. I think that we're small enough to be fast and big enough to be powerful. I think the division is really deep. We're like the average size for women, I think. It's kind of like the 155ers in the men's division. I think it's a really good, exciting, deep division, and it's still fairly new. As it develops and progresses, in a year or two, it's going to be one of the best divisions in the UFC, period.
And I don't mean to harp on the Macy Barber thing. I don't want to. What she said is. Like what she said, you said she didn't give credit to Roxy and stuff like that, like her win. But were you surprised that Macy was like a -1,000 favorite going into face Roxanne? Like I'm sure you know Roxanne from the years of MMA. Were you surprised that she was that much of a favorite going into that fight?
Not really, because the odds are just like that. Like I don't ever really understand like betting odds, because sometimes people will be such big underdogs and I'll be looking at it like, do they know what they're looking at, So I don't really pay too much attention to that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. But I thought it was obvious that Roxanne had been severely overlooked in that fight.
And then one final one before I let you go. Instead of asking you your prediction on Saturday, I'll ask you in 1 year from now, where do you see yourself sitting in the UFC rankings?
In what?
In the UFC rankings, where do you see yourself in 1 year from now?
Hopefully in the top 5, anywhere in the top 5. 5 on up. That's what I'm really hoping for. That's what I'm working for.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck on Saturday. And again, congratulations on the house, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be gorgeous. Seriously, follow on IG because we did all these renovations at our last house in Phoenix, and we really loved it, and we learned a lot. And so we're gonna do a bunch of renovations to our new house in Houston, and it's just so much fun. It's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, looking forward to following along.
Thank
Thank you.